Now more of the Vancouver Giants intermission. You're on Sportsnet 650, Vancouver's home of hockey.
Welcome back inside the banquet hall here at the Langley Event Center, where after 40 minutes, it's the Prince Albert Raiders with a narrow 2-1 lead on the board after a goal in that second period belonging to Keaton Sorensen coming on the power play at the 6:14 mark. Justin Morissette with you here at the intermission, and I'm pleased to be joined by Giancarlo Nadeau, a young buck making his broadcast debut here this evening. He runs a blog covering the Vancouver Giants. In fact, it's called GiantsCoverage.com. And Giancarlo, welcome to the show, and congratulations on making your radio debut this evening.
Justin, thank you so much for having me here. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak with you. Obviously, we've known each other for a few years, so to be able to talk Giants hockey, it's always a blast.
And you have been covering the Giants for the last few months here on your blog, of course. An interesting time for the team, obviously. They are a very young group, a lot of 17-year-olds sort of building towards the next two seasons where they'll hopefully be in strong contention come 2024, the 2025 season probably. But one of the key pieces that we've been eyeing for the future, a guy who got a big opportunity here tonight, left the game in that period after a fight, and that's big Tyler Thorpe, a guy that we've talked about a lot on the broadcast. And Giancarlo, you've been watching him over the last few months here as well. What have you liked from him, and what are the Giants missing with him out of the lineup in the third period?
Yeah, I mean, Tyler Thorpe was a player that played in the Pacific Junior Hockey League, a league that I get the chance to broadcast now with the Richmond Sockeyes, moved on to Junior A, and now he's with the Vancouver Giants. And one of the things that Giants fans took notice of right away was his size. He's a big body. He likes to get in front of the net. He likes to play a physical game. And that's the way that the Vancouver Giants are built this season. They're built to play a physical game. Don't have a lot of sharpshooters on the team this year. But they've got a lot of guys that like to throw that body around, and it's been a rather physical affair here tonight. And if the Giants can't get back that player, it's going to be a big loss for the team in the third period.
They didn't actually call him for fighting in that one. It was maybe more of a wrestling match. Two double minors for roughing assessed against both Tyler Thorpe Jr., as they call him, despite the fact that he is the taller of the two Ty Thorpes on this team. Grady Martin, the participant in that tilt, let's say, for the Prince Albert Raiders. But he left after that game, left out of the penalty box, and I don't believe returned the rest of the way. Thought maybe it might have been just an equipment issue, as they didn't have a game misconduct or anything attached to that fight, but he might have been shaken up, and it might be a health thing for him, which is unfortunate because, Giancarlo, the Giants came into this night already down a man. They're running with 17 skaters tonight, 11 forwards, 6 defensemen, and it's going to be 10 forwards the rest of the way if Tyler Thorpe can't come back.
Well, that's just it. If Tyler Thorpe can't come back, then the Vancouver Giants are down 2 forwards in the lineup. They started the game down by 1 already. The injuries right now for the Giants, Colton Langkow, Sam Honzik, Matty Edwards, Carson Haynes, obviously some big players out for the Giants, and we talked about it, Tyler Thorpe, if he's out, it's not going to be fun for Vancouver as they're getting thrown around a little bit out there.
Yeah, definitely. And the good news is that with a player missing like that, and you mentioned all the bodies who are out of the lineup for the Giants right now, it does create opportunities for other guys to step up and perhaps play the hero. And one guy who's played the hero certainly through the first 40 minutes in this one, Giancarlo, is the goalie, Jesper Vikman. He may be on the losing end of this scoreline at the moment, and after the first 20 minutes, he was certainly the less busy of the two goalies, but not the case in that middle frame where the Giants get outshot actually 18-3 during the second period. But credit to Vikman, even after a period like that where you get outshot by a 6-1 margin, he has held them in this game and put them in a position where they can still come back and win this thing.
Well, Jesper Vikman's obviously a fan favorite here in Vancouver, and rightfully so. He gets a lot of airtime. If Jesper Vikman's on his game, the Vancouver Giants have a great opportunity to win each game that they're in. And Jesper Vikman, he's been sharp tonight. He's a big reason why the Giants could get past the first round last season playing against the Everett Silvertips. He was an import forward as well, drafted 8th overall in the first round, and now a prospect of the Vegas Golden Knights. So, they're certainly happy with his game.
Yeah, he was the first star the last time the Giants played in this building, and even if they can't come back to force overtime or perhaps get the win outright in regulation, would not be surprised at all if Vikman's name gets called as one of the 3 stars in this game when it's all said and done.
No, not at all. And Michael Dick, the team's head coach, says that he's one of the most professional players he's ever played he's ever had the opportunity to coach as well. I think Vikman, he's just a player that doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He likes to stay focused throughout, and it's a big key for the Vancouver Giants to have him in the lineup this season, to have him back from Vegas.
And the special teams have obviously played a part in the shot clock. We saw the Giants get a number of power plays in that opening frame, 4 of them, in fact, two-man advantages, which they were not able to cash in on. But despite all that, a lot of chances generated by the Giants in those power plays. It felt a lot of their opportunities, though, maybe deflected wide, perhaps. The Raiders goalie not having to make the kind of 5-alarm saves that Vikman did at the other end. He has really been a showstopper here this evening.
Well, Ty Halliburton is one of those players that plays on the power play for Vancouver. He leads the team in shots this season. You can expect him to get 4 to 7 shots on goal. But one of the things that the Vancouver Giants aren't doing well tonight is shooting that puck. They're getting set up in the zone, passing the puck around, but too many shots are hitting and missing the net, and they're just not able to get those shots off on goal.
We'll see if they can improve on that after a middle frame where, as I mentioned, they only sent 3 shots towards the Prince Albert net. But before we wrap up here, Giancarlo, where can people find your writing on the Vancouver Giants as you're blogging about the team this season?
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate enough to be able to broadcast in the Pacific Junior Hockey League, able to watch all the Vancouver Giants games out here. You can find me on GiantsCoverage.com. I try to write an article a week, depending on who's hot for the team and some of the upcoming events ongoing with the Giants as well. So it's been a blast.
Well, prospects for the NHL out on the ice and prospects up in the press box as well. Giancarlo Nadeau, thank you so much for joining me here during the second intermission.
Thank you very much. A pleasure to speak with you.
All right, we will send it back upstairs because we're moments away from puck drop.